Well, this is Steve Ridgel, and it's Easter week, and there'll be a lot of sermons preached this coming Sunday on the resurrection. I'm going to be preaching one myself down at Winters Church of Christ in Winters, Texas. It is an amazing, spectacular thing, but before Jesus could be raised from the dead, he had to die. So there'll be some talk on this Friday about Good Friday, the day Jesus died. I'll be doing that at a community service in Winters, Texas. This Friday. But even before he died, he had to come. Had to come to this earth. Probably the most famous verse in the Bible, John 3:16. God so loved the world. God so loved you that he gave his only son, that if you believe in him, you would not perish but have everlasting life. What a great promise. The very next verse even says that Jesus didn't come to condemn the world, but to save the world. Our world jumps up and says, we don't want any part of you Christians. All you want to do is condemn everybody. No, the one we follow came to this earth, not to condemn us, but to save us. We were already condemned. We were already separated from God. Our sin separated us from God. The things we should have done and didn't do, the things we did we should not have done. Not anybody listening to this that doesn't know they've done something wrong or not done something right. We were already condemned. Jesus didn't come to condemn us. He came to save us. I felt so strongly about it that when Jesus himself said one time, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except by me. We can't just kind of work our way back into God's good graces. We can't just kind of say, well, I don't know about Jesus, but let me pick this. It's either Jesus really or nothing, because that's what Jesus said. So for those of us that claim to be Christians, we're staking everything on the fact that Jesus came, he died, and he was raised. He came into this world. He was tempted like us. He lived like us, but he was sinless. And so when he went to the cross, he died so that God's wrath, God's justice could be satisfied, because God's going to punish sin. Don't ever think God overlooks, winks at, doesn't pay attention to sin. Sin's going to be paid for. Jesus died to pay for that sin. And if we believe that, then we get to be the ones that are justified. Not because of what we do, in spite of what we've done. It is because of what he did. That God so loved the world that he sent his only son, that if you believe in him, you would not perish, but have everlasting life. He came to save us, not to condemn us. So I'm going to tell you, if you're not a Christian, I'd encourage you this Sunday to go worship at some church. Go find out about Easter. Ask what you can do to die and be buried and be raised with Jesus, so that you too can have eternal life. And if you're near Winters, Texas, show up at the Church of Christ there, and I'll be talking about that this Sunday. Because God so loved the world that he gave his son for you, to save you.